Planning for 6 o'clock actually begins at 9 a.m. when the day crew sits down for the morning meeting. It's decided here that Kim Young would talk to farmers, Carol Pella would look into Mill Creek school taxes, and I would tell you about them.
Why don't you go ahead and do it?
The next step for the reporters is often the phones, like Dave Belmondo setting up his next Route 35.
It's not as important as sitting down with you and talking to you about it.
3018.
Meanwhile, producer Andrea Verosco and anchor Lisa Zampa begin putting together the noon show, deciding what goes where on a special computer program that tracks story length and commercial time. Don't worry, producers do that a lot. It's decided that Kim Young and the farmers would be live at noon. For photographer John Hoffman, that means rolling out a live truck to a West County orchard and setting up for Kim's interview with grower John Mason, a story electronically beamed to the station.
Stand by, John. And you're on.
Mother Nature has area food farmers
biting their nails. I'm Kim Young. Coming up, I'll tell you why.
Carol Pella and photographer Dave Hetrick are still on the Mill Creek tax story, asking voters what they think. By now, photographer John Hoffman has finished his live shot and now joins afternoon reporter Tricia Rutherford for a tour of the Boston store renovations.
No, and that's why he's
Okay, but the afternoon news meeting. So far, no fire or accident has happened to change the plans. Wednesday's schedule is discussed. So far, so good. Between 3:30 and 5:30, it's crunch time. Reporters gather last bits of information to write the stories. Photographers hit the edit booths to put the video together. The producers sweat the details, spelling, national stories, late updates. It's here the stress can go up, the language can go downhill. We were lucky today. Any major story would have thrown all those plans out the window. But that hasn't happened today, so far. Scott Bremner, Newswatch 35.
You just lost $1,000 an acre. If you have 100 acres, it's 100,000.
Once I got in the ski and you're flying along, it was just as if I had no disability at all.
The water of Conneaut Lake offers Danny McCoy freedom from his wheelchair, freedom from his disability.
Okay, go!
The wind's going through your hair, you're skipping along the water, you can look around, it's total freedom. It's wonderful, absolutely great.
Danny McCoy has joined 40 other people with disabilities for a 4-day water ski clinic run by Three Rivers Adaptive Sports.
I guess as far as a lot of us are concerned is nobody has a disability or everybody has a disability. The hardest part of skiing is getting up out of the water.
Absolutely. Three Rivers Adaptive Sports owns 6 boards and 8 cages.
Yeah,
Cages are the seats screwed into the boards the skier sits in and can hold on to with their arms.
You want to rest a couple minutes?
Yeah, that was a heck of a fall.
I know.
Before a car accident left Danny McCoy paralyzed, he was a competitive skier.
Okay!
Did you ever think that you would get back on ski?
I'll tell you, when I was laying in the hospital, I didn't think I was going to do much of anything. It's like I never left the water. I mean, it's as much fun as it was when I was able-bodied. I mean, the speed is there, going from side to side, jumping the wake. It's just like as if I'd never left.
Thanks, guys. Nice run.
Excellent. Excellent, thanks.
The people who work behind this glass call this office a leper colony. They say no one comes to work here by choice. They come here only after being pushed out of other, more respectable offices. It's a place, they say, where angry people vent their frustrations over parking tickets. Well, we decided to spend some time with these misfit workers to show you just what they have to put up with. Watch the way this woman handles her frustration.
Okay, this is 25.
25?
Yeah, you got it last month on the 24th. You have 10 days in which to pay. If you can't do it today, I can give you a date, because it won't go up right away.
It's a bunch of
Now watch as this man tries to talk his way out of a ticket.
I left my flashers on. I might have been wrong, but if you're going to write a ticket, the GCAC truck that was parked in front of me, it's been there all day with the snow on it. He didn't get a ticket.
Okay,
so why should I?
See right here it says NPA. It means no parking anytime.
According to these workers, today was a mild one. They're so sheepish about public scorn, they would only talk to us if we agreed not to show their faces.
We've been called every name in the book. We've been threatened. People pound the counter, pound the window. I had people ask me to step outside.
This glass window was installed several years ago to stop people from spitting on these workers.
Very good.
Did you worry about your personal safety? You don't want us to take your picture right now. You don't
No.
want people
No.
to know where you were.
We leave work together in a group and walk with one another to our cars.
Gazing out the window, Penny Lloyd reflects on a world that's passing her by, a world she left in the flash of a moment.
It was such an instant. It could have happened to anybody. That's why I said it. It makes you think. What we take so much for granted.
A violent car crash last January left Penny a quadriplegic.
It put me in a different type of world. It did, and it opened my eyes to a lot of physically challenged people out there, that it's a different world.
Penny's world now revolves around her chair and her younger brother, Jeffrey. It's Jeffrey's sense of humor and love of music that Penny says gives her the courage to carry on.
I believe there are angels among us.
This Thanksgiving, Penny says she's grateful to be alive.
Well, I'm glad that I'm here still. That's the biggest thing, because I could have been gone, and I think that's the biggest thing. And for Jeff to be there was the most important to me. It really was.
An instant changed Penny Lloyd's life. A lasting love of family gives her hope. Kim Young, Newswatch 35.
Baseball is life. No.
Where's the play to?
First.
First! Yes! All right!
It's on the slot.
All right! I want you to swing the bat aggressively. Run! That's it! Go! Keep going! West, run! Home West, big! All right! Run! Yes, all right! Good run, Brody, good job. It's easier to come up than to come down. So always start like here and then come up. Brody, get ready! Yes. Take a base! Oh! Good job, Alex.
Let's go, David! Let's go!
Go! Yay! Go run, guys!
But I love baseball. It's the best thing that ever happened to Earth.
Good game.
Snowmobiling is one way people here on the North Coast make the most out of a long, cold winter. Here we go. One of those crazy people who craves the feel of stinging wind on her face and biting cold at her back is Karen Atwood of the Tionesta Snowmobile Club.
You have to wear a snowmobile suit to take care of the wind chill, the cold. When you're moving, that magnifies the cold.
Like other snowmobile enthusiasts, Karen is concerned about operators being safe.
You should not use alcohol or drugs, either one, while you're snowmobiling.
You and I have helmets on.
Helmets.
Is that mandatory? Do you
Yes,
have
it
to wear
is.
a helmet?
It is. That is a state law that says if you're riding a snowmobile, you must wear a helmet.
Can you go anywhere on a snowmobile? Can you get on and just say, I'm off?
No, you can't. You should stay on marked trails. You should stay out of areas where it's marked no snowmobiling. Actually, when you get on a snowmobile or a motorcycle or a car for that matter, you need liability insurance for whatever may happen when you're on that machine. So it is a really good idea.
Not only is liability insurance for snowmobiles a good idea, it's a new state law. And while you're blazing the trails, never go too fast.
Be careful when you squeeze it, because you'll really go.
Many of the fast machines are appropriately named after swift animals: the panther, the puma, the cougar, and the smaller version, the kitty cat. No, not that kind of kitty cat, that kind. And many pussycat riders come equipped with claws.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Kim
you.
Young, Newswatch 35.
Oh, you're giving me this.
Pushing a shopping cart around a grocery store this time of year can be maddening, especially if you're trying to be more health conscious. But it's really not that difficult if you pay attention to the little things.
Now, we are going to start with the main course first. We want to make a turkey, so we're going to go over to the turkey aisle.
Any of the brands of turkey would be okay. The one to be careful as far as turkey goes, though, are self-basters.
Why is
self-basting turkeys, because they have fat that's been injected into them. I think one of the things to keep in mind as far as turkey goes would be the portion one eats of that. We're looking about the size of a deck of cards portion, as opposed to sitting down and eating a half a plate of turkey.
And turkey in and of itself, am I not correct, it is very lean?
The white meat of turkey is. The dark meat is higher fat.
And what about gravy?
For a fourth of a cup, it only has 1.5 grams of fat per serving. So as long as a person didn't drown their whole plate in gravy.
Okay, we got our turkey, we got our gravy. Let's move on, and you know what? The stuffing is right over here.
In speaking of stuffing, and where we've passed on to the turkeys, stuffing is less fat when all is said and done if it's made outside of the bird than inside.
Now to the dessert. Pumpkin pie without fat? Ha!
One way to make this a pumpkin pie less fat is to use something like the fat-free sweetened condensed milk.
And low-fat Cool Whip to top it all off. Marianne Brown says the best way to prepare a Thanksgiving feast is to cut back on fats and use a little common sense. Kim Young, Newswatch 35.
Just in case. Just in case. Just in case you don't listen to anything that Marianne said.